Okay, now the next topic here is the uh, P, L, and M of PLM. What do you mean by P? What do you mean by L? And what do you mean by M? So we all know what is this P, what is L, and what is M. So we'll see something more on this P, L, and M. Okay, so product P is what product? We know that product is the most important thing. If there is no product, then there is no company. I told you, and there is no company, so there is no PLC. Also, product can be anything. Product can be as small as a refill of a pen. Pen is purchased, a pen is sold for 5 rupees, and the refill of the pen cost around some paisas. That is also a product, and a product as big as a truck, that can also be a product, or a ship can also be a product. Okay, or product can be something which is seen and which is not seen. That also I told you. Service is also a product. Then this policies, LIC policies and other private company policies, these also are products. Okay, so product can be anything, but then yes, this product is really important. Okay, the product is important. That is the key, and that has to be remembered. Product is important. Okay, if you don't feel or realize the importance of product, you will be in the decline stage. If you realize the important, your maturity stage will be like this. Okay, this will be a long maturity stage if the product is properly nurtured. The product is the source of company revenue. As I told you, if there is no product, no company, no revenue. Okay, so product has to be in the maturity stage for a longer period of time. Without product, company does not exist. Company generate revenues from new and upgraded product. So every time the company should think of upgrading the existing product and launching new products. Okay, I'm saying upgrading the existing product. Whatever disadvantages or limitations are there in the product, even if it is in the maturity stage, company should think of this, and they should keep upgrading the products. Okay, and uh, new products should also be launched in the company. Now, one more thing about this PLC curve, the life cycle curve, which we have seen now. Okay, there are 4 stages, and it is spread in or around it is spread along a along horizontal axis for a period of time. Now the trend in market has changed. The trend is changed in such a way that a product's life is now reduced. Product life is reduced every 6 months or every 1 year. The parts of that products are not available in the market, and company launches a new product saying that it is the upgraded version of the earlier product, or uh, that product is not available, or the parts of that products are also not available. So this is the new trend which has come in the market. So earlier it was like a car is manufactured, then car will remain for 20, 25, 30 years. Okay, now it will not happen. New companies are coming, new products are coming. So old products are to be shut down, and new products, because the technology has changed, IoT has come. Now a car without a sensor, a car without, now if we have a car where you want to this lift the mirror of the car manually. Okay, people may not be that interested, because who will rotate it by hand? Okay, another thing is what people says, log kya kahenge. Because of that also people would like to have a good product. Okay, so whatever issues are there, that has to be resolved by the company. They have to meet to the customer. They should always talk to the customer, take their feedback from them, and keep on upgrading the product. Great product make it the great make it the leader in its industry sector. Okay, if the product is good, then definitely the industry is a good industry, and it is leader in the particular sector. Now I told you about that day about the Google Chrome. Google also has Google Word, then Google Docs, Google spreadsheet. Now Microsoft has also launched its Excel format. Microsoft also has its what we call to a email this feature, that app for sending email. Now we are using Microsoft Teams for these lectures. Okay, so now this is competitor to Google. So either one of this will stay or both will stay. If both are good, both will enjoy customer worldwide. Or some of the like Microsoft may have customer in particular area and Google may have customer in some particular area. Something like this may happen after a few years. But then yes, great products. The product, if the product is good, people will prefer it, and if people are preferring the product, then that company will be leader in the industry for that particular product. And yes, profit is also more. If product is good, profit will be more. If the product is not good, people will go to other company, and obviously the profit of the particular company will be increase or decrease depending on how the product is. Then products are available in range. Okay, products are available in abundance. There are so many products, huge range of product in the market. And product can be, as I told you, it can be tangible or intangible product also. Tangible product which can be touched, and intangible product are the product which cannot be touched. And in the first importance only I told you, there can be different types of product. And products can be diverse also, diverse as a huge product or a small product, a beverage can or a pin or a pen or a key, anything. It can be as big as this or it can be as small as this. Products are available in different shapes, different sizes, and different varieties. So I'm talking about the product. What are the various ranges in the product? So when I talk about here you have to talk about what are the various importance, what are the various important factors when you talk about a product. What is its importance? Why product is important? Now here I am talking about the various range of product. Okay, so here I told you products are available. So many products are there. Products are tangible and intangible. Then it can be of various range, ranging from this huge to the small product. They are available in different size and different shapes. Product can also be a service. I told you product is a service also. Now, product is often more than what seems at first glance to be a product. Okay, so if you see something and if you think that okay, it is a product, it is just a small product. Then there can be so many things in the product. Okay, it can include the packaging of the product. Now consider a packaging. Okay, when a product is packed, then packaging is involved in that, and that is also a product. That packaging thing, the thing which is which the product is wrapped, okay, that can be made up of some different materials. That is also a product. So if you see a can of a cold drink, you just see that it is only a can, okay, but that can is a product. That cold drink which is inside it, that is a product. The packing of it, how it is done, that is a product. Can is different product and packing of can is different product. The uh, marketing of it is also a product. So product often seems to it okay, ये तो एक can है, but there are so many things involved in it, and all this can be the product. Even the delivery of the can at your location may also be a product. Like Amazon, what Amazon is doing, it is delivering the things to your home. So that also is a product. The product may also include some literature. Now how to use the product, that is the literature of the product. There are warranty cards and other things available with the product, that comes with the product. So that can also be a different product, because it is made up of paper, and then it is printed. Okay, then it is properly folded. So that can also be a product of some company, and then that is coming with the product that we are purchasing. Labeling, I have already told you. Then the product may includes wire, plugs. Okay, a mobile. When we purchase mobile, we think mobile is a product, but with mobile there is a screen guard, then there is an adapter, then there is a charger, then there is a pin nowadays for inserting the SIM, and so many. There's cover of the mobile, the box that comes, and the packaging that is done, and then wrapping on the box. So all these are products. All these are products. So there is wide range of product. We cannot say that okay, mobile is the only product. इसके साथ ये सब है, ये भी products ही है. People are selling that also, and people are earning through that as well. Okay, and inside the packaging of an anesthetic may be a sterile syringe. Okay, there can be syringe if it is an anesthetic product. So this is also there. If you purchase uh, a machine, nebulizer जहाँ से वाफ लेते हैं ना, छोटे बच्चे को वाफ देते हैं अगर ठंडी हो गया सर्दी हो गया तो नेबुलाइजर. So there are so many products. The nebulizer, the machine itself. Then apart from that machine, there is a plastic mask-like thing. Then there is a plastic cable. Then there is a this thing, uh, what we call it as capsule, which may come with that, or it is to be purchased from outside. Capsule in which there is medicine. Medicine is another product. Then there is polythene in which everything is wrapped. All these are products. All these are products. So there is a wide range of this product. No, I told you it can be a 6-pack or a single can. I told you the example of this, a can. There may be so many products. Okay, we see it only as a single can. I think the PPT students may be knowing more about this 6-pack, the use of this word in product. Then I told you that delivery mechanism may also be the part of the product. Now, a company's product may or may not have been developed by the company. The product may be itself developed by the company itself, or it may have procured it from some other company. Okay, or it can also be the result of merger and acquisition. Okay, M&A. You must have heard about merger and acquisition. Two companies get merged, and then that is the product. For example, the Corporation Bank and Union Bank has got merged. So the product now that is coming is merger of corporation and Union Bank. 3-4 banks are there in that. So it can be like this also. Again, bank is also a product. Okay, the ATM card, the credit card, all these are products, and there are so many companies, small companies involved in it. A company to make that ATM card, then the company to manufacture the chip, then the company to insert the chip, making the card, and then all other things. Okay, so there is huge range of product. So product is really important. Now, how these all different things, how all these different things make the product attractive, that is important. If you purchase a toy, if you purchase a toy, and if you are not given the batteries along with it free along with it, then you get disappointed. इतना पैसा ले लिया, 500 रुपये लिया, उसके साथ 10 रुपये का बैटरी भी फ्री नहीं दे सकते हो. We often do things like this. Okay, but then yes, it's not in the policy of the company, and we as a customer want it free. Okay, we have purchased a toy of so much price. अगर घड़ी ले लिया 900 रुपये का, 1000 रुपये का घड़ी ले लिया और उसमें सेल नहीं है, so what you will say, इतना महंगा घड़ी है और सेल नहीं है तो. Okay, but then company should think about it, and it should always think from customer's point of view. So how to make the product good. Even if another thing is there, if a company is giving a battery along with it, then is it giving the Duracell battery, or is it giving the everyday battery, or Nippo battery, a battery which has long life, or a battery which has short life, or they are deliberately making the battery such that the life will be small, and then company is not paying much to the company, Nippo company, for manufacturing cells which does not have longer life. Okay, that is also a part of the product. Okay, so customer company should always try to give product which is good, which is best. Then only the name of the company will be there in the market, and the company will be leader. Otherwise the company will really see the decline stage. Then there is another factor here of the product, the number of parts. Okay, company's product may be made up of many assemblies and thousands of components. Okay, it can have so many components. If you think about a car, there are so many components, thousands of components. If you think only of a suspension system or only of a gearbox, there are so many components in a car. If you take an example of laptop, If you take an example of spectacle, in spectacle, a small spectacle may have so many parts in it. An assembly may also be made up of a large number of parts. So here I have given some example. This is taken from the book. A deodorant that is available, it may have around 20 number of parts. A sandwich has 30 number of parts. Now if you count sandwich has 30 number of parts, then uh, you may see that okay, it is not making up to 30, but then there are various what we call it as um, spices. Okay, various spices can be used, and then it can be made up of total part can be around 30. So this is a general list. A shampoo may have different products added in it to make it as total component as 50. For example, there is product A, product B, product C, product D, and then out of this 10 product the shampoo is made, then the pouch is made, and then packaging, labeling. A watch may have 300 components, machine tool 2000, aircraft this much, and software, if you consider each line of code as a product, then as a part of the product, then it may have so many lines. Okay, and all this can be product, all this can be the part of the product. Then I am not going to read this. See, a body component, it has sub assemblies like bonnet is there, spoiler, bumper is there, a wheel may have tire, it may have bearing, it may have hub, a window may have glass, motor, windshield, audio devices may have antenna, speaker, tuner. So these are different sub assemblies. Okay, think about antenna. Antenna is again a sub assembly of this. There are so many parts. The antenna, it gets folded inside, then it is coming out through a slot, and then it is connected. The speaker, there are so many components in the speaker, so it is a part, it is an assembly, and in that there are so many parts. And this speaker, which is an assembly, can be some assembly of audio device. Then gauges, ignition system, then sensors, different sensors. Okay, so there can be wide range of products, a wide range of parts in a particular product, and all these are products. All these are products. There are companies which are manufacturing these small products. Then there are other products also, such as agriculture industry, forestry, fishery products, and so on. So all these products needs to be managed. So the most important part of this PLM is P. If there is no product, nothing will come. Okay, nothing will follow it. If there is product, everything you should has to follow it. Now next, L. L is life. So there are 5 phases in a product life cycle. Now somewhere you will find there are 5 stages, some stages. Someone will say there are 6 stages. Basically there are 4 stages, but then in different books or at different places you will find the number of phases are increased. So these 5 phases are already there. Out of about beyond 4 phases, there may be one of the phase which is before introduction, and there may be one of the phase which is after decline. Okay, so like this there may be 6 phases. So we'll see these phases one by one. What are in fact we know the 4 phases. The 4 phases that we have studied is introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Apart from this, you can see there is no, this is written in a different way. It's the same phases. There is only one phase that is added, is imagination phase. Okay, so what is this imagination phase? It is a phase when the product is not introduced in the market. It is before the product is introduced in the market, and before the product work has been started. Like for example, some concept comes to my mind, and I am explaining it to my seniors, juniors, whosoever are there present. I am explaining that concept to them. So that may be in on my brain, that may be on paper or on the screen which I am presenting to others. So that is called as imagination phase. Now, whenever the product is in the imagination phase, that has to be properly taken care of, because if it is not properly taken care when it is in imagination phase, then it may not be properly uh, defined. That is, it will not come into the second stage. So whatever idea, whatever concept is in your mind, that has to be properly converted into the next phase. Okay, then the second phase is the definition phase. So we have skipped these phases earlier. Okay, we have not considered these phases earlier. We have considered only the four phases. So this is also there, and you all know that there has to be something in your mind, then only it can be brought into reality. Then second is the definition phase. In this phase, the idea or thought that had already come in the mind, that is converted into a proper description on the paper. Maybe a drawing of it is drawn on a sheet, and it may be drawn on some software. And after it is realized, the product will exist in the market. Okay, so you can say it is partly introduction stage, part of introduction stage. The product will come in the market in this defined stage. So this is a slightly different way of defining the phases of life, because I have taken it from some different book. Okay, so you may whenever you are explaining this life phases of a product, then you can incorporate two or three more phases. Like first is imagination phase, when there is only a concept. Then second is actually the concept which is in the mind has been brought on the paper or in the computer. And third is then paper, computer, or it is manufactured. Then third is introduction. Fourth is growth, maturity, decline, and then fifth stage or sixth stage or seventh stage can be to just the product grows from there, as we discussed the earlier day. Then realize means it is there in it is the product is there in the form of a hard something to the given to the customer or sold to the customer. Even if it is a life insurance policy or a medical policy or a car policy, or even a membership of some club, it is given in some hard form to the customer. Okay, if even if it is a credit card, it is given in some hard form to the customer. So that is realization. The product is now there, realized by the customer. Okay, ये ऐसा product है, it is there with me now. I am the owner of the product. Then the product gets into the phase when then the support of the product, it will be used. And then support means the servicing. As we saw the example of Maruti 800, we saw that Maruti set up so many service stations. Okay, so if there is this name Maruti, the vehicle is sold so much because of the service station. It has so many service stations all over the country, and service is also comparatively cheap. The parts are cheap, service is cheap, that is another thing. And but the service stations are available. That is the foremost important thing. So during support, whatever service you can provide, that has to be provided, and then the product will retire and has to be disposed of, and how it should be disposed of, that also has to be explained. So you must have understood that I have explained here the same PLC, but slightly different way of explanation. Okay, it's explained by different terms which are seen on the screen. Okay, so whatever way you want, you can explain it. But if you are explaining that four phases of life cycle, then there you will have more material. Here you will have to collect material. Okay, just to present it in some different way. Then the specific activities that take place across the life cycle, it will vary from industry to industry, sector to sector, or even in the same industry from product to product. So this we discussed that day, that the product life cycle cannot have the same x and y directions, or x and y dimensions always. It may sometimes have increase in degree or decrease in the dimensions depending on the product. Then as a result, companies in particular industries may have a view of the product life cycle that is specific to their industry. So that's is just an extension of earlier sentence. Depending on how the PLC is important to them, they may look at the PLC and they may uh, modify the product depending on their perspective. Okay, if it is a newspaper as a product, okay, the newspaper as a product says life. Okay, as a newspaper, its life is very small, but as a company, if you see it as a company, Times of India, for example, or Indian Express, for example, it has been since so many years. Okay, so individual product, one day newspaper is also a product, and if you see as that product throughout uh, the life of that newspaper. For example, Indian Express, they have increased lot of things in it. Okay, they have nowadays they have incorporated so many advertisement in the paper. Okay, so the product should run. For that, they are doing some or other activities, and uh, then now if you compare the PLC, it's still in the maturity stage. Okay, although there is slight decline, but we still in the maturity stage. It's late maturity stage. We cannot say it's in the decline stage because still now newspaper is red. Um, the e-version of the newspaper is red. Okay, so it's still there, and they are doing so many things so as to make it more sellable to the customer. Then, however, every product has to go through the four life phases that we have already discussed. So, when it comes to the L, you have to specify about these activities, life of the product. So, basically, we will be talking here about the PLM of a product. Then, the third part of the PLM is the management part. Okay, management part means what are we managing? It is not the management. It is the management means it is the managing of the product. M here means managing the product. So managing of product includes so many activities such as you can see related resources are to be manufactured. Again, if you take the example of newspaper, we need to find out which ink can be used. It should not. It should be environmental freely. Then the ink should be easily available. It should be low cost. It should not smell after the paper is reached to the customer. Then the page that is to be needed, what kind of ink will print on what kind of pages, all those technical things which will give more yield, and all those things has to be properly thought of. Then decision taking activities, then setting objectives, control of result, all these things have to be related to product, have to be managed. At different places decision has to be taken. Okay, now for example, in COVID the newspaper was sold, but it was if I talk about Times of India, now on Saturday Sundays, earlier it used to be around say half kg of newspaper. Okay, but in this period it was not that much. Okay, it was only 8 to 10 pages or 12 pages, if I remember properly, max 15 pages. Okay, so some decisions has to be taken because the sale was less, and sale was less because there are many factors responsible for it. Then setting objectives, control of the result, all these things related to project has to be taken care of. A product has to be managed in all the phases of the life cycle. As we have already studied, there are different phases, and in each phase the product should be properly manufactured. If the product is manufactured, the product will make good money for the company, because finally it is the product. Okay, so the product needs to be managed when it is an idea. So just now we saw that whenever a product is idea, it should be properly managed, and the idea should not be lost, or then the idea should not be misunderstood. Lost means it may be lost in the person's mind or in the group's mind, or it may lost or it may be misunderstood. Okay, misinterpreted afterwards by the same person, or the same person who has given the idea. It may happen. So it needs to be managed during the idea stage. Then product needs to be managed when it is in the definition stage. For example, the product development project has to be managed uh, to make sure that whatever was discussed has been there in the product. It has to be managed when it is in the realization phase. Just now we have seen it should be managed in the realization phase, in the phase when it is in the use. No, product should be managed when it is in use. For example, there are many companies who have called back their cars. I cannot tell you the proper uh, problem and the proper company for what problem the companies have called the car, but Wagoner has called its car back from the customer. Baleno has called its car back from the customer. Ford has called its car back from the customer. They have made the necessary changes, and then it was given back to the customer. So it needs to be managed when it is in the use also. Okay. Now sometimes it has to be managed. Now another example is of the software. there are always updates which are coming to the software. Okay, whether it is the Windows software or any software that we purchase or it is available on the net or our phone software, then there are always updates which are given. So that is what, that is managing its use when it is, when the product in its use. Then while disposal also, now this is something which is it has lately come, that while disposing also the product has to be properly managed. So earlier it was not, this concept was not there, how to manage the product during disposal. So this has come after the PLM has been introduced. Earlier it was not there. Now you must be aware of the electronics items which are properly collected and then they are uh, disposed of properly. Okay, so earlier it was not. Earlier people used to throw it or they used to sell it to the to the this rack picker. कबाड़ी वाले के पास बेच देते थे. So PLM is about managing the product throughout its life cycle, from cradle to grave, or from sunrise to sunset. Okay, so people say it in this way: managing the product from cradle to grave, or from sunrise to sunset, or it is from dusk to dawn, dawn to dusk. Okay, सुबह से शाम तक, दिन निकलने से पहले से दिन निकलने से शाम तक, ऐसी इस तरीके से. So it has to be managed throughout the life. Okay, so this is about the P, L, and M of the product. So don't get confused here. Management is the management of the product and not the management who owns the product.